Home Slices, it's Kiera with Home Slice Adulting, and I'm coming to you with my review for Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 7, Episode 13, and let's just go ahead and get started. So we start off in Cancun. We see, you know, some of the ladies doing white people activities, like playing with animals, but whatever. We see Cardi talking to her little sister, Hennessy. Apparently Hennessy is in fashion school, and Cardi just wants Hennessy to put in, you know, the hard work and make her people proud and all that kind of stuff, and whatever. I don't really care that much about it. Moving on. So we see Juju, and Juju is mad about how Yandy basically made the whole trip about her. She got into it with everybody on the trip, Juju, Camilla, and Bianca and her little friends. And then Yandy accuses Juju of, you know, writing this book about her. So Yandy starts knocking on the door like a crazy woman, and finally they have a talk. Yandy is upset because she feels like she seems like the bad guy, but Juju is like, I didn't, you know, answer the door, answer the phone, reply to your text messages last night because I don't want to be bothered with you. And that's how it is for some people. When they get mad, they need, you know, an opportunity to cool down first, and you just have to be respectful of that. But Yandy didn't appear to get that. But anyways, Yandy is like, you know, she called Juju a keyboard killer, basically saying, so you can write whatever you want about me in your book, but you can't talk to me so that we can talk this through and talk this over. And I'm like, Yandy, shut up. Anyways, Juju's feelings were hurt because she felt like Yandy called her character into question. But Juju says that the book was not about Yandy, not even a little bit. And then Yandy is like, well, I gotta take your word for it, and they hug and it's over with that quickly. I mean, some of these ladies are nuts. We'll talk about Juelz and Camilla next. Juelz cleaned the house. He got rid of the kids, and he was all romantic and whatnot when Camilla came in, and she was like amazed at all the stuff that he had gotten done. And he tells her that he really has a new appreciation for her because, you know, hanging out with the Rugrats all day and cleaning and cooking is not an easy job. And I think, you know, that time being apart was good for their relationship because he got to see what she dealt with all day. So hopefully we won't hear no more arguments between Camilla and Juelz. Remy, real quick, Remy goes to see Fat Joe, and Fat Joe is like, we need to go and get this money. We need to be doing this, this, and that. He's all about the work, which Remy knew, you know, would be his main focus. But Remy tells him, you know, I want to do my solo album, and then I want to take a break and have a baby. And, you know, Remy was surprised to see that Fat Joe was understanding of that, because he said, you know, if you would have told me that last year, I wouldn't have been, you know, with you on that. But it has been proven that you can have a baby and have a career too. So, you know, I'm with you on that. And, you know, I'm happy for you and Papoose. Next, we'll talk about the Creep Squad, which in this case is just Rich Dollars this time around. He says that everyone in the Creep Squad is getting along swimmingly, and that they want to do some type of clothing venture. And first off, I hate seeing on episode after episode them talk about clothing lines, okay? Clothing lines are very risky business, okay? Clothing lines never last. Think about all of the clothing lines that all these celebrities have come out with. Think of how long it took for them to go under. Yeah. People who do clothing lines, they just don't work out. And while I don't necessarily like them doing a clothing line together, I think that they would all do better having some type of joint business venture versus just hanging out and being creeps. But whatever. So Ashley comes in, Rich Dollar's daughter, and she says to Rich something that we have all been saying. You are too old to be still claiming the Creep Squad. It's old, it's tired, and you don't need to be creating a clothing, you know, line around it. You need to grow up. And I was like, you know what, Ashley? I like you. But anyways, Ashley says, you know, I want to choose, you know, you're a date, I'm gonna set you up on a blind date. So I told you all last week that I was under the impression that it was Ashley's mama, and it was Ashley's mama. So they sit down and have a date. Her name is Miracle, and her and Ashley, I never noticed how much her and Ashley look alike, but they really do look alike. So Rich claims that they never technically broke up, but they were separated because Rich moved away from Memphis. And so, you know, Miracle just recently became available, you know, single. And so Rich seemed like he was interested because they have remained friends so that they could co-parent Ashley. So they start talking, and she asks him if he wants more children, and Rich says he wants another child so he can be there for them from, you know, 0 to 18. Here's the problem that I have with that. Men, you know, these days have kids with a bunch of different women in a bunch of different locations, and then when they get 40, 50 years old, they want to have a child that they can be there for from, you know, infancy all the way up to 18. And it's like, it would be nice if some of you all got it right from like a young age, that you should be there. Pick a woman that you want to be with, that you can see raising a family with, to have a child with, so you can be there for that child from 0 to 18, and so you won't be 68 at somebody's high school graduation. The point is, Rich actually thanked Miracle for raising Ashley to be, you know, such a great child, you know, being the high school cheerleading captain and making good grades, and, you know, spending all that time that she spent with her father in the summer and her internship at Rich's, you know, empire. But Rich, you know, the date started off really good, and then Rich started to slide back into his creep ways, talking about, oh, you miss daddy, and oh, I got a hotel, and we don't know how that date ended, but Rich, you know, needs to lay off the creep squad stuff. We're going to talk about Peter and the Sister Wives. Let me start by saying that Love and Hip Hop New York tricked us into thinking that Peter and the Sister Wives were not going to be featured on season 7 of Love and Hip Hop New York, and they waited till like the last 3 episodes of this season to work them in. And I really could care less about their situation, but I think that it's good that they're on here just because they can juxtapose Peter and the Sister Wives versus, you know, the baby mama drama with Yandy, Samantha, and Erica. And you can see how, even though both of those situations are like very rocky and whatnot, Peter and the Sister Wives kind of have it together this time around. So anyways, Peter is having a let's get all my kids together to introduce to them the last addition, or to the latest addition to the crew, Bronx. And so Amina is in town and she is staying with Peter. And Peter says, you know, there's no funny business going on between Amina and myself. And I'm like, Amina's your wife. If y'all were doing something, it wouldn't be nobody's business, no way. But anyway, so he was like, oh, you know, y'all are in the Sunshine State. And I was like, I thought that was Florida and not California. But whatever, Peter. Peter says that he wants to make it clear that even though they never had a conversation about this, that their relationship is coming to an end, and he wants to bring up the D word, which is divorce. So Amina says that she left because he didn't want her anymore. And what's interesting is that it seems like both Peter and Amina have matured. Amina was basically putting it out there that if Peter really wanted her back, she could come back, but that she understood that because he didn't fight for her, that's probably not going to be the case this time around. And Peter, even though Amina opened the door for him to come back into her life, Peter is focused on trying to get back with Tara, and he's not playing games anymore and saying, you know, we're separated and the next step is divorce. And so I actually think both of them have matured, and Amina knows what she wants and what she doesn't want. And she understood that Peter wants to move his life in a different direction, and that even though it hurts a little bit, she has to move her life in a different direction as well, and even says that she's happy to sign the divorce papers, because who wants to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with them? So, like I said, they both seem to have matured. So next we see the welcoming party for little Bronx, Amina's, you know, baby. And Amina is performing at the little welcoming party, which is cute. And Peter wants Amina, you know, after she performs, he tells her that he wants them to stay in New York so he can be around his kids. And Amina, this is one of the reasons why I say that she's matured. Amina knows that if she stays in New York, she'll trade places with Tara. And instead of Amina being the wife or the main chick, she'll trade places with Tara and be, you know, the baby mama mistress. It's, you know, likely that they will turn back to their old habits of still sleeping with each other. So Amina, you know, realizes that she can't stay in New York, and she's doing what's best for her, even though it means that Peter won't get to see his kids as much. And I'm not a mother, I don't have kids, but as a person who, you know, make decisions for myself, I admire that Amina is doing what's right for her despite what Peter wants. And it doesn't mean, you know, just because they're on separate coasts doesn't mean that they can't have a good relationship in raising their kids together, or that the kids won't get to see, you know, their siblings or Peter at all. So Tara shows up to the party and things are awkward. And did I mention how much Tara annoys me? That whole thing where she was trying to get through the door and she's like, does anybody want to help mommy? Does anybody want to help mommy? And I'm like, Tara, oh my gosh, it's so passive aggressive. Just tell one of the kids to get to the door. Tara just annoys the crap out of me. And so anyways, Tara says that she's good for now with just being friends with Peter. But I'm like, we all know that they're going to get back together. We all know. But anyways, Tara and Amina have a little conversation, and it's very civil, and it's about the kids. And I'm like, Yandy, Samantha, and Erica could take a note. Okay, because Amina and Peter were actually married, and Peter had a baby with Tara while he was still married to Amina. Like, their relationship, you know, between the three of them and the sister wives and Peter having 10 kids is just as messy, if not more messy, than the situation with Mendeecees and his baby mamas, and they managed to get along. So, you know, they need to take a note out of this little book. But speaking of the baby mamas, we will talk about them, and I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible because I am over the baby mama drama. I'm so over it. Have they been featured on every episode? You know, like a few episodes like we didn't see Remy, or a few episodes we didn't see the Creep Squad, but have the baby mamas been featured on every episode? Because they are getting on my nerves. But whatever. So apparently Samantha took Lil Mendeecees to go see Big Mendeecees in jail, even though Samantha was, you know, very hesitant, you know, for Lil Mendeecees to go to the jail. So that didn't go well because Big Mendeecees put Kim, Samantha's mama, on the block list. So Kim was not allowed to see Mendeecees, and that was so funny to me. Kim had to sit in the car for 2 hours. That is so funny to me. And I didn't, you know, I don't know anything about jail or going to visit people in jail. I've never visited anybody in jail before, but I didn't know that you could block someone from coming to see you. So that was funny to me. But anyways, so Mendeecees, while Samantha is visiting Big Mendeecees, Big Mendeecees tells Sam that he also has blocked Erica. And apparently Samantha, you know, had a conversation with Mendeecees and like, why would you block Erica? Because blocking Erica means that you block your son, Asim. And so Mendeecees said something like he don't know Erica no more, or nothing, something like that. He don't have a relationship with her no more. And Samantha and Erica are still mad about, you know, the image that Mendeecees has. Like, they seem to be good, family oriented people, and it's like, who cares? Who cares about their image? But whatever. So apparently Yandy has not been involved in the party planning, and Yandy hasn't contributed an idea or any money to Lil Mendeecees' birthday party, and she hasn't been responding to Samantha's calls, but she's in Mexico. And she says that, you know, Yandy is not planning it, but I will still invite her so the kids can come. And I'm like, you know, I'm kind of on Sam with this one. So Yandy and Samantha, you know, have a sit down, and Yandy claims that she never heard anything about the party from Samantha, and she also claims that her son couldn't get in touch with Lil Mendeecees to wish him happy birthday, and when Yandy tried to call Samantha, that Samantha didn't answer her call. And I'm like, somebody is lying. And I'm more inclined to believe Samantha, because Samantha, for the first time, really seemed like the more reasonable one in this whole interaction. Yandy seemed to be the one that had the issue more so than Samantha, and Samantha didn't necessarily raise her voice or get out of pocket or nothing like that. So Sam says that Yandy is full of it, and like I said, I'm more inclined to believe Samantha. And Yandy says, you know, oh, I don't have a problem with you or Erica, and I'm like, that's BS. And then, you know, Yandy goes on this rant, and she was like, oh, well, if you want me to, you know, just change the narrative up, let's say that Erica was, you know, Mendeecees' number one and only baby mama, and he wanted to wife her. And it's like, clearly you have a problem with this woman if, you know, you can be this sarcastic about this situation. But Sam was like, oh, so you don't have a problem with us, but you tried to hit me. And Yandy was like, I tried to hit you because you called me the B word. But they just start talking in circles, and I hate it. And Sam, like I said, was trying to be reasonable and saying that all of us need to get along. It can't just be me and you getting along and Erica is the outcast. We all need to get along so that the children can get together. And Yandy was like, are you finished? And I was like, okay, Yandy, I'm not with you on this one. So Yandy sits down with Camilla and tells Camilla about all this stuff. And like I said, I think Yandy has what Samantha was saying very misconstrued, because Sam was saying that all three of us need to get along if everyone is going to get together for the children. But Yandy just didn't seem to understand that. So Yandy says that she may not go to the party because she doesn't want to subject the kids to some drama. And I'm like, okay, Yandy, you're clearly the problem, because this is yet another opportunity for all the kids to get together during this birthday party, and you are the one that's stopping your kids from coming to the party. So clearly in this instance is Yandy's fault for not looking past all the drama, because that interaction that Yandy and Samantha had was not as intense as the previous ones. So Yandy's full of it. And Camilla is a little too involved. And I say that because she shows up to Lil Mendeecees' birthday party. So Yandy and the kids don't show up to the party. Hence, Yandy's the problem this time. And Camilla is arguing with somebody at the entrance. And, you know, it's like, why are you arguing outside the party? You can't even get in. Anyways, Sam thinks that Yandy sent Camilla. And before Camilla even said, I came on my own, I was like, no, Camilla came on her own because she's a bored housewife that doesn't have anything else to do. So Camilla was just way too involved. And Kim, Samantha's mama, gets ready to fight her. She starts taking off her jacket. And I'm like, what woman who just had a cardiac event a few weeks or a few months ago is going to try to fight somebody at a birthday party? Something about that don't make sense. Like, Kim and Samantha's relationship is so weird. What child tells their mama, oh, go beat her go beat her down? Who does that? Anyways, Kim does need to mind her business, but Camilla needs to mind her business. But Kim was like, I'm about to do the Chrissy on Camilla. That was a little funny to me. But I'm over it. Very over it. So next time is the season finale. Yay. Of Love and Hip Hop New York. We see Cisco trying to mend fences with everyone, including Mariah Lynn. But Rich Dollaz does not like that. He does one of those elementary school moves where it's like, if you're gonna be friends with Mariah Lynn, you can't be friends with me. Next, we see Swift, the producer, making his move on Cardi B. We see Sky and Drewski having trouble, and I actually forgot they were on the show, so I don't care about that much. And so all of the baby mamas, the baby's mamas, and Camilla have some type of meeting across the table. And Camilla calls Mendeecees some names and just causes drama, and I'm like, she should have just minded her business. And even though a little bit of what Camilla was saying was true, she should have been a little bit more impartial if she was gonna mediate. But whatever. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out, home slices.